Hello everybody and welcome to the Flight Sim Deck. Today we're in Chicago at Chicago Midway International Airport and we're going to be headed to LaGuardia in New York. This will be Southwest flight number 1051 and normally done in the 700 series. We'll be doing it in the 800 series today and should be a nice little trip. It's going to be we're going to be doing the Expressway Visual into runway 31 when we get to LaGuardia, so this will be a special video in that regard. I also want to give a shout out to a person who goes by the nickname of Doc. Met him through the AADFW Spotters 2 stream, and it's his birthday today, and he requested this flight, so that is what we're going to do today, so happy birthday to him. Let's get in here to Sky Vector and check out the route we're going to do. I'm going to zoom in, and right now we're looking at the VFR chart, but we'll switch over to the world chart to better show the flight path we'll be taking. There we go. And so we're going to be heading out of Midway. Only two departures to do, and that's the Cicero and the Midway. And so we'll be doing one of those out to Luke, and then on down through this way, and then into New York. This should only be hour and a half flight, and this is where the approach gets interesting here. So I'm going to zoom in and show you. Alright, so basically you fly towards dials, and once you hit dials you turn to heading of 85, and then you fly along the expressway, and then you'll be approaching the Flushing Meadow Park, and that's when you make your turn into the runway. It's actually quite a challenging approach because you don't have a lot of time to get lined up with the runway once you come out of the turn, so you want to make sure you are doing everything correctly. I don't know that the visual points of reference are totally correct on this, but it's close enough. So alright, we're doing the pushback now, and we're going to be heading over to runway 4 right for our departure today.
With the 6 emergency exits, 2 forward exit doors, 2 overing window exits, 2 exit doors in the back, signs overhead, lights on the floor lead you to these exits. The safety information card is in the seat back row literature pocket in front of you. Take it out. Note, in the event of a water evacuation, use the life vest located underneath your seat. Remove the vest.
Now we're taxiing over to the runway, following the company Southwest flight there, but he's going, I think he's going up to go park, and we're going out this way for a departure. Just got these two airports, Chicago and LaGuardia, so now I can do more flights in and out of those areas. So that'll be cool. Always good to get more of those. And yeah, for me, I've just been well, I planned this flight and everything went well so far, and just been messing around with X-Plane Beta, putting up a couple of videos of those, going to put up some more soon, and that's pretty much it for me. Just celebrated a birthday. And yeah, got a little bit of money from that, so maybe I can get some new flight sim stuff. and add on to the channel here. I think the next flight I'll do will also be a Southwest flight on the West Coast. Someone else requested one. I believe it was either San Diego or John Wayne Airport up to San Francisco. I have to look back in the comments to figure out which one, so I'll be going up there and doing that. I think I'm going to do some more tutorial videos on cinematic stuff. Somebody wanted one specifically for landings, and I'd like to do that. I think I'll break it up into different sections, I guess, because there are some different things to know for each thing you're filming. There's different techniques and things you need to pay attention to. Right, just rolling up on 4 right. We're going to hold short here and make our final preparations. So we're going to reset the fuel and rate. Taxi light off, landing lights on. Engine start switches are already on continuous. The strobe's on, and we're going to do a PAX off takeoff today. So get those off, and we're ready to go. We're trying to get as much runway as we can for this takeoff. This is a shorter runway. Carrying more than enough fuel today. Actually carrying a little bit, a lot more than we actually need. By the time we get there, we probably have an hour and a half to 2 hours more fuel than we need. Right, positive climb, gear up. Gonna hand fly this for a little bit until we get more on course, and then we'll switch over to the autopilot. Everything looks like winter out there today, snow everywhere. Beautiful day to fly. See downtown over there off to the left. The PAX back on. And we have the flaps up. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing this approach that we're going to be coming up on later. Never done this one before. And I'd like to do it again when it's like springtime, summertime, so, you know, because I'm expecting we're going to see some snow over there in New York. And it'd be just nice to see the visuals in the springtime. So we'll definitely be doing this approach again into New York. I'm not sure if the winds are going to be correct for it, but just want to do this approach anyway because it was his request, and it's also a very cool visual approach. Alright, we're almost getting on course. We'll get the autopilot on. Never be afraid to hand fly the plane out of these airports, especially if you have a clear day. You can fly it up to 10,000 feet or more if you want. Just for the practice, it's just good to always do that. You know, same goes for your arrival. You know, if it's clear enough out, don't be afraid to turn the autopilot off at 10,000 feet or, you know, whatever you're comfortable with, and fly for a little bit before you land. We're passing 15,000 feet now. Originally had planned to go up to flight level 390, but we're probably actually just going to go up to 370. So that is the plan on that. Weather's looking clear, no storms in our path so far. We shouldn't actually really see anything. There's a little bit of storm movement on New York, but I think we'll get in before we have to fly through any of that. Alright, now we're at flight level 320. Just got a little bit more to go before we're at cruise. Like I said, this is a relatively short flight, just about an hour and a half. Alright, we are at our cruise altitude, and got about 4 more waypoints to go, and then we'll be making our descent 40 minutes into the flight, so just about halfway through. Nothing but snow out there. I hope one day in the future the weather engine can somehow calculate where there is snow on the ground and where there isn't, because you know I don't think the whole country would be covered in snow. Well, I mean, I know it's not, but, so that would be a nice thing to have one day. And alright, just like that, we're already making our descent. Wasn't much to look at, so you know I tend to cut those clips out if it's going to just be a repeat of the same thing. But yeah, we're going to be making our descent now. Get a lot of clouds out this way, and we'll be going through the soupy stuff and making our exciting arrival today. going down to 2,500 feet. That's what they want you at dials. 2,500 feet, going about 160 knots. And then from there you start making your descent. It's pretty overcast over New York today. We'll be going into Queens. Okay, we're coming up on Apple, and we're going to slow our speed down to 180 knots. Closer to the next waypoint, we'll go down to 160, and then we'll start adding some flaps. And we'll get the gear down right before dials. This is a very scenic approach too. You get to see some of the good parts of the city and the skyline off in the distance, which will be becoming more clear as we approach. Still have plenty of fuel. Like I said, I planned with way too much. There's the skyline coming into sight a little better. Tried to adjust this the best I could so we can get a decent amount of buildings populated, still having a good frame rate. Alright, we're crossing, I think it's Proud that we're crossing, and going down to 160. Slowing down nicely. Gear down. Setting our baro 3 green. Got our brakes set. Now let's slow down to our approach speed in just a moment. Alright, we're going to set this to 145. And there we go. And as you can see here, this is the expressway, and this is where you follow this all the way to the park up there, go around the stadium, getting the autopilot off now, and we're going to hand fly. I just wanted to get on the A5 heading before disengaging. Getting a little too slow. Kind of lost some speed on the turn. That's what makes this tricky. Now I'm going to stay here. I'm not going to try to get back up in the up with the pappies because we might float it. So we're just going to keep it here. Down. We forgot to arm the spoilers, so I'm putting them out manually. That was pretty tough, actually. The hardest other thing I've done was Samos, and this was actually a lot more difficult at that. The visual cues on that approach are a little easier to follow than this one. That was a stiff landing, but I'm just happy to have done it that great, you know. We're gonna hold short right up here. We went past the line a little bit, but they like you to hold short prior to this. And while we're doing that, let's check out some replays. We are coming in. Put it down right on the mark today. Just a little softer would have been nice, but that's not easy. When you come out of that turn, you really don't have much time to correct anything. I love this shot. This really gives you a good perspective of how you're coming in here. Man, it's pretty difficult. And then for doing this in real life, in a smaller plane, it would be easier. But in a big plane like this, I mean, you don't really get to practice that too much. You just kind of have to do it, and you have to do it right. First try. Just trying to get the wings level there. Yeah, a little bit hard, but that's not an easy one. Like I said, I'm just glad I got near the center line on that. That's all good. Okay, we're going to continue on over to our gate. Still need to do a little bit of cleanup. It's starting to rain now. Got in just in time before all that. Not much though. Doesn't look like too big of a storm. Once I'm able to use the A320, I really want to do a reenactment of the Hudson River water landing. It's been done a lot before, but I want to try to do a really, really good one and set the bar high on that. So we'll see. That won't be the first video, but I do want to start a new series. It's going to be called something like emergencies or something. I want to reenact emergencies that have happened in flight, either where they ended up really bad or they ended up saving it or just anything. Alright, we're pulling into our gate now. Okay, let's go through the shutdown procedure. So the parking brake is on. We're going to cut off the engine start levers. Pack signs off. APU bleed air on. The anti-collision light off. Get the fuel pumps off. Leaving the left aft on. Anti-ice is already off. The engine anti-ice is already off. Just got to get the hydraulic pumps and open the isolation valve and make sure the flight directors are off. Alright everybody, this is pretty much going to conclude our flight to New York. You can see an airplane landing in the background there. It looks like an American Airlines flight. And yeah, there he is taxiing in. And that's going to be it, guys. Thank you for watching another episode on the Flight Sim Deck channel. We got some great things coming along the way, so make sure you stay on this channel, subscribe, and stay tuned. Alright guys, I will see you on the next video, and until then, you take care.